Hey guys, so I'm of course excited again because I just can't get enough of this stuff. And I want to talk to you guys about just how to keto adapt. I just did a video about like when you should exercise. I barely touched what kind because I ran out of time, and I was really kind of going like, you need to eat well as you exercise. Those two things go hand in hand. So it was a bit of hodgepodge of everything. So here we go. How to keto adapt. Basic Principles by Stephanie Person. All right, because I'm a person. So because I've been learning a lot about all these things, and even things like CBS, and talking about sulfates and things like SNPs and SAMe, and I'm learning more and more, and I'm going to take all of those complicated terminologies and I'm going to break it down into a language that actually fits from bink, bink, your alarm clock going off, to going to your job, to watching TV, to working out, relationships, and I'm going to fit those complicated metabolic processes together with just the lay language, because otherwise you're not going to care. If it gets too sterile and too technical and clinical, I even get a little bored. Like, let's make these terms applicable to if you've got food allergies, if you're running on a bunch of supplementation to fix your thyroid gland, then we got to be careful, because everything, too many supplements can be problematic and an issue. Your body really needs to have its detoxification and regulatory systems to work properly on their own. So when it comes to tryptophan and serotonin, melatonin being downregulated, that is affecting other systems and responses and enzymatic responses in your body. It's very, very freaking complicated, but very, very, very interesting. So I'm going to learn more, and then I'm going to break it down into a language that we all can just use in our everyday life. But for now, let's just do a simple little video on how to keto adapt, because that's why you guys find me. I mean, the more I become kind of geek out on science, I know there are people out there that want that, and there's people out there that are like, yo, how do I get rid of my cellulite, and how do I get rid of the belly, right? And this pendulous fat. How do I? Now, my last video I said was about exercise. Well, this is going to be more the nutrition side, but with exercise and with sleep and your lifestyle habits. So if you want to get into a state of ketosis, which is absolutely fantastic, you got to cross that bridge over to ketosis land, because I'm 47, 5 years in ketosis, no refeeds. My taste buds have freaking changed. Look at what my taste buds have done. Because your body is a reflection of who you are, your mind. So if you want to change your body, you got to change your mind. You got to give yourself 21 days to reset taste buds, habits, whatever you need to do. So don't get freaked out because things don't happen in one day. Give yourself 3 weeks, and that's the same thing with what? Keto adapting! All right, let's get on to it. Now, what do you need to do? You need to go. Now, here's the thing. Let's put you in two camps. You're either the super metabolically damaged, or you're like the super moderately metabolically damaged, because we all are. Let's just put it that way. So for the people who are super damaged, what are your signs and symptoms that would go, hey, I'm damaged? Well, it would be like gassing, bloating, farty, can't sleep at night, muscle cramps, like restless leg stuff, can't sleep at night, a heartburn, menstrual cramps, PMS, guys who've got andropause, guys who are flat in the muscle, can't build, that fat here, you lose weight, but right there it just never goes, ever, ever, never, ever. What else? Arthritis, aches and pains, that freaking sciatica. Geez, so many of you guys have that sciatica. Headaches, depression, like super low energy in that middle of the day. Yikers, stomach aches, yeast infections. Like, this is the shite that you guys experience on the freaking daily. That is what are the signs of being metabolically damaged. Or like work out, you're super sore all the time, you don't get the gains you want. Girls, you don't get rid of the cellulite, you got a ton of it. Estrogen, mother freaking dominance, like boof, just boof. Those are signs of metabolic derangement. If you haven't had your period, if your cycle's all messed up, those are all the things you want to think about. The hair gets dry, skin gets real dry, cold hands, cold feet. These are signs, symptoms you need to check out. Like, you might have heart palpitations, you might have anemia or deficiencies, whatever. That's the metabolic damage camp. You don't have to just be big and overweight. You can lose all your weight and still be jacked with metabolic issues. So, it's not indicative of size. It's indicative of, like, your lifestyle, the stressors, your detoxification pathways. Okay, with that said, then you got the people who don't have as much damage. These are people that go like, oh, I sleep good. I fall asleep. I'm asleep. I'm like, okay. And then, oh, I go to the gym and I get shredded. Like, I get really good gains. Okay. Or I get moderate gains, or I can gain weight, but I can lose it real quick. Then you got the people who got moderate metabolic damage, who are like, I only have headaches twice a year. I do get acid, like burp up acidy stuff, once every 3 years. Oh, I forgot to mention teeth. Your teeth are like, if you're having teeth issues, gingivitis, if you're having any of that stuff, or your wounds don't heal, you get colds all the time. I forgot to mention this in my metabolic derangement, because you can even be moderately metabolic damaged and get colds all the time. Like, get over a cold, get another one, get over another one. Winter comes and you're like, those are the type of things. The allergies, the sinus infections, all of these things are signs of like mild metabolic derangement, because you're not fat and you can go work out, you can gain weight, you can lose weight. These are the people that I would say like, oh, I sleep good. You're still metabolically damaged. You might have like low-level leaky gut, don't even realize it. You may not realize a lot of things that are going on because you really don't know what feeling very well is. Like, you might have funky smells and stuff coming out of you. I don't mean the keto smell. But here we go. So if you want to get into a state of ketosis, we take these two camps and we put them into two different arenas. Now, the camp over here is people who've got clear, like, I've got thyroid disease, my gallbladder was removed, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to take these people and we're going to slowly keto. If you've never done this before, let's slowly bring you down. And let's say if you ate 250 carbs a day, let's switch out your 250 carbs down to 150 and eat like brown rice. You could have higher in glycemic vegetables, sweet potato, squash. Here's the thing. If you got a thyroid issue, you got a certain kind of issue, and you can't take the nightshades, like the potato family, well, actually, sweet potato is not potato. But if you can't take root vegetables or nightshades, then you've got to take things like, if you got to use a glucometer, use berries. Yes? We don't want GMO berries. We want very bitter tasting berries, because we want the sugar in the low glycemic berries, or pears or green apples, and the higher in carbohydrate foods like vegetables. Like, you could do onions, and you could do beets, and you can do zucchini, and I think there's a nightshade. But anyway, I digress. You could do, I'm trying to get like a little higher in carbohydrate, but basically most people can tolerate sweet potato. So I would say sweet potato and squash, and you would start to jack your fats up real high. Just get them real high, because we want to introduce fats that have been too low through us being lied to by the kind of industry, telling us that fat will give us a heart attack when it actually was the carbohydrates. So you want to get your fats up, and you want your body to start being able to process the fats. Now, a lot of you people might have kind of HCl issues, low stomach acid. You think you have high because you get burping up here, but no, that's like a reverse farting effect. Your body's trying to raise stomach levels back up, and so you're actually getting this kind of burning effect up here, but it's actually from really low stomach acid levels. So when people go on like omeprazole and proton pump medications because they're trying to lower their acid, then they even bring on more issues, more metabolic derangement, more pathogens, more bacteria to overgrow, because that stomach acid is a firewall barrier to all that nasty little things that want to overgrow and take over your body. So you want to lower them naturally. Things like apple cider vinegar and lemon water are great for that plant pectins in them. They actually help to unjunkify your liver. Dandelion, ginger roots, these types of things are really great food sources to implement into your dietary changes to help detox as you're trying to bring your carbs lower and lower, down to 15 to 20 carbs per day from cruciferous vegetables. If you have an issue with oxalates, then semi-cook them, because we still want the prebiotic fiber. Or you want to eat them in smaller amounts and spread them out throughout the day. If you've got leaky gut issues, then you might want to try a GAPS protocol before, which is to get rid of anything that might be problematic to your digestive tract. You also want to consider things that can patch and heal, like slippery elm, like the cells in your intestine and stomach lining. You also might want to consider things like bone broth soup. Yeah, that stuff is amazing. Non-sweaty balls. That's what we want. Bone broth soup. So go save your pennies and go buy some grass-fed cow long bones with the marrow in the middle. Go cook that sucker for 20 hours and drink that as a broth, because you're going to get the magnesium and you're going to get the B12 and the iron and the zinc and the chromium. You're going to get all these amazing nutrients in that bone broth. That's going to help patch up and fix your leaky gut, which is exacerbating all of the issues that are connected to your metabolism. Okay. All right. So you're going to bring yourself down. You're going to jack your fats up high, over 100. You're going to implement sweet potato, yam, squash. You're going to do fatty protein in the morning. You're going to have squash or sweet potato. You can have it in your lunch. Have it in your dinner. Keep your proteins real moderate, fat up real high. And you can start with brown rice or quinoa. You can take out those grains, which I hate. And then slowly, if you go from bread and from really processed foods, then you can go from less processed to the plant higher in carbohydrates, like the sweet potato yam family, the squash, to cutting those out and just going for the cruciferous vegetables and driving ketosis. Now, with that said, hello fitness community, you cannot be in ketosis in just a couple days. So when you think that you are eating and then refeeding and then having better glycogen storages and being more rock star, no, that's not what's happening. It's just metabolic damage. Okay, that's another subject. So then we've got the people who are like moderately damaged. Well, you guys can go into ketosis tomorrow. Today. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go from eating those processed foods. Let's drop our carbohydrates down to 15 grams to 20. We're going to do the cruciferous vegetables right away. We're going to jack up our fats up to 150 right away. We're going to drop down our protein to under 100, never below 60, depending on if you're a woman, male, height, fitness level. So don't just don't go, and I won't give prescriptions over YouTube because everybody is different and I don't know your background. But with that said, then also you want to drive your glycogen storages. So if you're like going to do this stuff overnight, go work out, go do some cardio, and get rid of whatever carbohydrate storage you have. Get rid of it, because the quicker you get rid of it, the quicker your body can go, I'm going to produce ketones, because even if you are a carb burner, you will produce ketones in 6 hours. Problem is, your body doesn't know how to use them. So that is the tricky, sticky, icky part. That's why we say it's like you got to cross that bridge over to ketosis land to get the amazing, superhuman benefits from it. So how's that done? It's called be freaking patient. Because for those who are looking for weight loss right away, that's not going to happen. Getting over to that island of ketosis has nothing to do with fat loss in the very beginning, the first stage. Now for those who do lose weight, you're probably hefty, more leaning towards the obese side.